What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Hello everybody and welcome to Sensational Women's Wrestling. This is episode 3 of our women's only show, and boy, we have an action-packed one for you here tonight. I was wondering when we would see it. Tonight's the night. The debut of the Last Kickers, the women's tag team champions, Becky Lynch and Lita. Lita coming off an injury. Her first match tonight. We'll see how she does as they take on the debuting unholy union of NXT, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. We will also get our third of our fourth WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship qualifying matches tonight. We will see Tamina, who is 2-0, starting off very hot after WrestleMania, taking on the upstart in Zelina Vega. She wants to get into Backlash in Puerto Rico in front of her home fans. We'll see if she can do it here tonight. It's been her spot. And in preparation for her Women's Intercontinental Championship qualifying match next week, we will see Damage Control's Io Sky facing off against Xia Li. Tonight's going to be a good night, folks, and I hope you're ready for some women's wrestling. Here in Cincinnati, Ohio, how are we going to start the show? With Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's Champion, coming out here to get things started here tonight. Seems like she is going to have some words for us, I believe. After Rhea Ripley's interview last week, we saw her tell Bianca that, hey, look, your A game is not going to be enough to beat me. It doesn't matter what you do. You're not going to walk out of Backlash, the WWE Women's Champion. That's going to be me, Rhea Ripley. I'm sure the EST is not happy with that, and I'm sure she'll have some words for us and for Rhea Ripley as well. What a way to start off the show here tonight. This is going to be good. That's right, yep. Bianca did beat Asuka at WrestleMania and retained her title over Asuka to do it. It's a great match, by the way. Well, there's the response. The A+ game, the A+++ game. Bianca is not afraid of the competition at all. An open challenge, really? Well, there you have it, folks. A open challenge later tonight has been laid down by Bianca Belair. We'll see who responds to it. Right now, though, it's time for our first match of the night. And here we go. We are finally going to see Becky Lynch and Lita, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, in action for the first time tonight.
Tag Team match. On the way to the ring, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Becky Lynch and Lita.
Lita was attacked back in the very first episode of our show here by a mystery person who we can only assume was Trish Stratus, because later on in the show, Trish Stratus attacked Becky Lynch in her match. So I'm just putting two and two together here. Look, I can see what's going on. But anyway, Lita is now back after the chair shots she suffered to her leg, multiple of them. Her first match with Becky Lynch. We'll see how they do. But they have a tough task tonight because their opponents are the unholy union of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
And their opponents, Alan, Dawn, and Alba Fire, the Union.
The Unholy Union, formerly of NXT. If this is your first time joining us here on Sensational Women's Wrestling, the Raw and SmackDown Women's rosters were joined together to bring you this show. And also some of the women from NXT have been called up to this show. This is one of those tag teams that have been called up. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, former NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. And what a way to get started here for them tonight in their debut match, facing the current Women's Tag Team Champions and two legends of the business, no less. Great debut opportunity here for them tonight. We'll see how they do in the first match under Tornado Tag rules. The Last Kickers versus the Unholy Union. First match of the night. Let's get it going, shall we? As I mentioned, as we heard a few weeks ago from Stacy Keibler, 2 episodes ago, the women's tag team matches going forward will all be fought under Tornado Tag rules, which means that there is no DQ, no countouts, nothing like that. Ways to win though: pinfall submission inside the ring. Still normal circumstances here to win matches. So I gotta do it the traditional way. Cover there, only a 1 count as Dawn kicks out. It'll be great to see Lita finally in a match here, because again, we want to see how she's doing after the attack she suffered by the hands of, again, who we can only assume what was Trish Stratus a few episodes ago, because she hasn't competed since Becky's competed. This is now her 3rd week in a row competing. She competed in the first week against Ronda Rousey and won that match. And then last week against Rhea Ripley in our main event. Unfortunately, fell short in that one and took the loss to Rhea. But here early on, both of the out of the ring, and there goes Becky. I was at Bianca. There goes Becky flying onto Isla Dawn outside the ring. But it's really going to be something to see how Lita responds. There's questions there of ring rust, obviously. When you're injured and you're not in ring shape, might take you a little bit longer to get back into it. So, and this is the 3rd week. Again, we have Backlash coming up. Backlash coming up in just 2 episodes. So we got 1 more episode and then Backlash. So we'll have to see how much and how quickly, I guess, Lita can get back into ring shape and looking dominant, or looking like she can help out her partner Becky Lynch, because again, as I mentioned, this is Becky's 3rd episode in a row competing. And a cover here from Lita after the powerbomb. 1, 2, no. Not able to score the win over Isla Dawn just yet. And now Becky and Alba going at it here, as Isla stunned on the ropes there. Becky and Lita both turning their attention to Alba Fire. Lita pounding away on top. Very nice. Love to see that aggression. And again, as I mentioned before, what a debut opportunity here for the Unholy Union. These 2 women, Becky and Lita, are 2 of the more decorated women in WWE history. So for them to come in here on their opening night and potentially get a win against them, that's impressive, no matter how you slice it. The leg drop from Becky there inside the ring to Isla Dawn. Both Becky and Lita, former women's champions in their own right. And Becky and Lita are the current women's tag team champions. A big exploder from Becky in the ring. And oh my goodness, a big super kick on the outside from Alba Fire, but inside the ring, her partner Dawn was in a bit of trouble. Lynch breaks the hold though. She had on her legs there. Now it's 2-on-1 in the ring, and there's the Unholy Union using the numbers advantage in their favor, as Becky now takes a minute roll outside here. Becky and Lita will face Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez at Backlash for those women tag team championships titles on the line. And again, Becky's competed. This is her 3rd episode in a row competing. She's definitely in ring shape, but is also a bit fatigued there too, perhaps. She's been in a lot of matches, so maybe that also comes into play too. And maybe Becky's not in the best of shape come Backlash, as now the Unholy Union, Isla Dawn tossing Becky by her hair onto the mat here outside. And now Becky suplex on the outside here to Alba Fire. Meanwhile, Isla Dawn throwing Lita away and trying to help out her partner, but she's met with an exploder, or the Beck-sploder, as some would call it here. And now look at Becky flipping out of a German from Alba Fire. My goodness. And there's a back body drop. Suplex there from body slam from Lita there. Now the last kickers. Taking it to Alba Fire. It's been a really good match, and Lita has looked good. She really has looked good in her first match back here, and her first match of her run here on the new brand Sensational Women's Wrestling. And there's another suplex from Becky onto Isla as Lita takes over. Becky in the ring. Manhandle slam there from Becky. Cover to Alba. 1, 2, 3. The last kickers win their match thanks to Becky Lynch. Great win there from Becky Lynch and Lita. First win under their tag team belts. First tag team win under their belts. Speaking of tag teams, here's their opponents at Backlash. Liv Morgan and Raquel Gonzalez. The lighting's a little weird. It's a little dark over there. We can see them though. That we know who they are for sure. Coming out to congratulate the two on their win, perhaps. We'll see how that affects everything going forward. And here's Indy Hartwell. She competed last week in the triple threat match between herself, Nikita Lyons, and Cora Jade, and came out on top. And talking to Candice LeRae here backstage. LeRae and Hartwell, former members of The Way, now in NXT. They were former NXT Tag Team Champions down there. Well, look at that. Candice is going to have her shot next week against Io Sky to get into the Women's Intercontinental Championship ladder match at Backlash. And Indy says she's going to have her back during that whole process. So maybe we'll see the way we reform. We'll see, though. Who knows? Second match of the night. Here we go. It is time for the first time here on Sensational Women's Wrestling to take a look at Doudrop. Doudrop, Piper Niven. I'm personally going to call her Piper Niven going forward. I feel like she would appreciate that too. We'll have to see what she thinks about that, of course. Like I said, I'm sure she'd be okay with that. But a very talented woman in her own right. Hasn't quite found success in WWE, but maybe here under the Sensational Women's Wrestling banner and brand, maybe she can find that success as she hasn't had previously. Would love to see that for her. Again, very, very talented women's wrestler. Would love to see her find some success here in the new era of women's wrestling here in WWE. Her opponent tonight is that Emma? It is Emma. Well. There's a name that many of you will remember and be familiar with. Emma, former formerly in WWE a few years ago, came back and is now making her debut here on Sensational Women's Wrestling. She's held a championship before here in WWE. No stranger to success on the main roster. And we'll see tonight if she can start off on the right foot here on Sensational Women's Wrestling. She would love to. We know she's very, very confident, and some would say very full of herself. You know, you can see there, as her theme song says, it's all about me. It very much is all about Emma all the time. And we will certainly get a look-see tonight at how she responds and handles her debut and her return, I really should say, to the WWE and under the Sensational Women's Wrestling banner here. Piper Niven, Emma, second match of the night. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. And now here's the problem early on. Emma is at a big disadvantage. Just purely there's a size disadvantage there, and that's gonna be a problem for her. But we're not going to let that trick us into thinking that Emma cannot, compete in this match, because she definitely can. The problem is, again, Piper Niven has the power advantage, has the size advantage, so Emma's going to have to get creative with her offense, and right now it's all Piper Niven. Gone on the offensive early on here and has not let up, and that's exactly what she should be doing. As she drops the backside there on the chest of Emma, and we take a lot of air out of your lungs there, if anything, make it hard to breathe and stay competitive in this match. And Piper Niven here early on really taking it to Emma as she slams her into the LED board here on the outside. My goodness. And now has to get back in the ring as the refs count at 4. Now again, this isn't like our tornado tag match. There are countouts in this one, and if you can win like that, then hey, more power to you, as Piper sends Emma back over the top rope and outside to the floor once again. Not messing around here, this Piper Niven. And there's a huge clothesline, my goodness. Quick cover here from Piper, 1, just a 1 count. Emma is in some trouble here. And we're only, a few minutes into this match, and already it's not looking good for Emma in her debut. But there we go. There's an elbow from her. But the offense quickly snuffed out there. Piper not allowing Emma any wiggle room. This is not how Emma wanted to start. And, well, here we go. Here we go, Emma. Some offense from her now. There's the knees, and there's that tarantula like move there. Very innovative offense. Look, I tell you what, I couldn't do it. I could not do that one bit. But Emma makes it look so effortless, setting them up like that and pulling on both the legs and the arms. That's gotta hurt. For all intents and purposes there. Sure does have to hurt. And there's a kick from Emma. Maybe she'll be able to take some offense of her own here. Here are the fans, though, not happy with Emma and the way she's going about her offense. They don't like when she gets offense at all, actually. Sounds like they're more cheering for Piper than they are for Emma. Which, again, given Emma's personality, I can understand why. And you have offense like this. Oh! Offense like that will definitely not put you in the good graces of the fans. They want to see a clean match, and not that Emma's not doing it clean, but she has her own way about it. Oh my goodness! Great timing there to dodge, and then get the kick back to create some space for yourself. Duck under, arm drag from Emma. There it is. There it is. See, that's what the people don't like. And Piper said, you need to stop that right now. I'm not having any of it. You're not going to be doing that on my watch, ma'am. And see, look, and now Emma saying, you know, Piper, you scared? You scared, Piper? I got you on the ropes. But we know better, right? We know better. We know Piper Niven is not scared of anything. Now Piper taking some time. Catering to the fans here in Cincinnati. And here's a DDT from Emma. And here's a cover from Emma. One. No. Too strong is Piper Niven. Too strong. Not yet. Not ready to go down just yet. There's a kick to the gut. And there's a boot to the face from Emma. Uh-oh. We've seen this before. Remember this move, everyone. There's that innovative chin locked, air locked in, and uh-oh. Piper Niven in a bit of trouble. Emma looking to put her away. Piper trying to fight out of it in the middle of the ring, nowhere to go. Gonna have to fight her way out of this. Emma holding for dear life, and Piper eventually gets her way out of it. She was in that thing for a while, though. But quickly here, back on the offensive. Just throwing Emma across the ring by her leg. My goodness, cover one. Just the one count. Well, if nothing else, if Emma does lose this match, she can take away that, hey, she was competitive, and she did make Piper work for it for sure, because, man, he looked like she was on the ropes and had her dead to rights in the middle of the ring. He was going to get her to tap out, but it did not happen. And we're still in this one. Stumble back there. Off the ropes again. Oh, blocking the cross body there. Piper too big, too strong for all of that. Now we're going to see some clotheslines here from Piper and Niven. Third time's the charm, 3 in a row. And boy, oh boy. Piper rolling here. And here she comes off the rope, body splash onto Emma. 1, 2, no. And Niven cannot believe it. But you got to stay on the offensive. And that's exactly what she does. Can't let something like that get you down, especially if you want to be successful here on the Sensational Women's Wrestling brand. And Piper, you know, they're clearly not scared now, and she's letting Emma know about it. Why would I be scared of you? As Piper says. Why would I be scared of you? Nothing to be scared about here. Cover from Piper. 1, 2. No, Emma barely getting her shoulder up that time at 2. And Bossman slam from Piper. 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir. There it is. Piper Niven gets the dub in her first match of Sensational Women's Wrestling. Good to come out, get a win in your debut. Piper Niven did that here. In a great match between her and Emma. Emma, like I said, had her on the ropes at one point, but Piper able to fight back, show that heart. And we'll see if she can show it going forward and maybe eventually at some point capture some championship gold here on Sensational Women's Wrestling. Now it's JC Jane running into Gigi Dolan. Can't hear what they're saying exactly, but JC maybe looking to reform Toxic Attraction and Gigi walking away. Maybe we'll get more of that, more on that in the future. But right now, it is time to see who is going to be the third member of our Fatal 4-Way at Backlash for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, as this is a qualifying match. Zelina Vega taking on Tamina. Saw Zelina last episode, making her way into Stacy Keibler's office after she was giving her news about the Tornado tag team matches. Zelina said, hey, I want to compete. I want a chance to compete in front of my home country, Puerto Rico. And what better way to do it than getting into the Women's Intercontinental Championship ladder match? Stacey said, you know what? I like your heart. I will give you that opportunity. And we'll see if Zelina can earn her spot in her match against Tamina tonight. There's that roar. You know what that means. It's time to see Tamina back in action once again. This is our third time we've seen her. She has been on a hot streak to begin after WrestleMania. The reset has done her very well. In her first match, she ruined the debut of NXT's Roxanne Perez. And then last week, she beat Dana Brooke and then demanded that Stacy Keibler put her into a Women's Intercontinental Championship qualifying match. She's going to get her opportunity, and we'll see who's going to get it. Tamina and Zelina, shot at the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line. We'll see which one of them gets it done. And the thing about the Roxanne Perez thing, too, just to harp back on that for a minute. Again, Tamina, back in the first episode, spoiled the debut of Roxanne Perez. So that, I can imagine Roxanne might be feeling some kind of way about it. I'm surprised we haven't seen anything from her since then, but, I mean, who knows, right? Anything can happen. And Tamina, again, 2-0 to start her run here after WrestleMania. She has come out and she said this is going to be, it's not only a new era for women's wrestling, but it's also a new era for her and Zelina. Flying over the top rope onto Tamina. So that is a new era for me too, baby girl. It's a new era here in women's wrestling, and I am proud to be a part of it and have you all along on the ride with me as well, as we build to our first premium live event, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, our first big show, Backlash, in 2 episodes away now. Hope y'all are as excited for it as I am. You'll see some great matches on that card, and there's still more to sort out, I imagine, because we don't know who's going to be next in line for a shot at the WWE Women's Championships yet. We don't know who's going to be next in line to get a shot at the new Women's Intercontinental Champion, whoever that may be. Quick cover there from Zelina, but only a 1 count. So many things we don't know still, so there's still plenty of time for things to be sorted out before Backlash. And even maybe possibly on that show as well, as a big headbutt from Tamina. She looks to gain some offense here. Been on a bit of a ropes here early to begin the match, but here we go, spinning elbow from Tamina, who, as we all know, there is nobody meaner than Tamina, but right now Zelina is giving her a run for her money, and there's an arm drag. And she tried to roll her up, but Tamina slipped her off. Like it was nothing, made it look easy. Or maybe Zelina off to also grip one or the other. Nobody home there. And now look at Tamina taking on the glow, but Zelina having none of it. Raking the back there of Tamina. From a legendary pedigree of wrestlers, most notably Jimmy Superfly Snuka. She uses the splash as one of her finishing moves. So, you know, no surprise there. Got to pay tribute in that regard too. But neither woman really, honestly, has had the success we would like them to have. They would have liked to have. But that's why this impressive start from Tamina is so surprising, because she hasn't had that success. But the early hot start has earned her, to be fair, in all of this. You can say what you want about Tamina and, you know, how she carries herself and that kind of stuff, but there's no denying that the high start for her has put her into the conversation of maybe getting a championship shot at some point here, regardless of if it's tonight, if it's with this win tonight or down the road in the future. But wins and losses will matter here for sure. It's not going to be who gets hot matters for sure, but wins and losses are definitely going to have an impact in you rising up and down the ranks here. That's one thing that the higher-ups want to matter going forward. We want wins and losses to matter, and Zelina with a big kick there to Tamina and Hurricane Rana. Zelina on a bit of a roll here. Tamina rolls to the outside and escape, but Zelina having none of it, flying over the top once again. Zelina not giving Tamina a minute to breathe. And again, as the smaller opponent, it's what you have to do. Use your speed, your agility to your advantage. We know Tamina has the power advantage for sure, and we've seen her use it to success to begin her run here on Sensational Women's Wrestling. Both these ladies, big opportunity here in this one again. Winner of this will be the third member of the Fatal 4-Way at Backlash. It's a ladder match to determine the first ever WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. And now Tamina, big super kick. And wait a second, Tamina continuing to lay into Zelina after the kicking. Oh boy, that's Roxanne Perez's music. It was only a matter of time, I think, for something like this to happen. Zelina taking advantage of it. Big face buster. 1, 2, no. Oh man, Tamina would have been absolutely furious if she lost like that. But now, Zelina, here in control, after the music of Roxanne Perez distracted Tamina. Sunset flip powerbomb from Zelina to go on 1, 2. Zelina's going to Backlash. Give credit maybe a little bit to Roxanne Perez's music. Say what you will, but Zelina is going on the Backlash in Puerto Rico, in her home country. Nikki Cross is a member of that match, along with now Zelina Vega and the name I'm blanking on at the moment. My apologies, but in preparation for her match next week against Candice LeRae, we're gonna see Damage Control Io Sky being against Xia Li.
Making her way to the ring, representing Damage Control from Tokyo, Japan,
Io Sky, third member of Damage Control. One of them is of Damage Control. She met with Bayley a few episodes ago and said, hey, look, I want to go after Women's Intercontinental Championship. And Bayley said, hey, we'll have your back. We support you. But it's also a good opportunity to show everyone that Damage Control still runs the place. Because they haven't had a great run since coming together. Former women's tag team champions Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Bayley not able to catch any gold as a member of Damage Control yet. Maybe we'll see if they can get it done. If Io can get it done next week. But tonight, match against Xia Li. And if you haven't seen Xia Li's entrance before, you're in for a treat. In my opinion, it is one of the coolest things about her. Her entrance is so cool, and I absolutely love it. It makes her look like a star, and in my opinion, I feel like she could be one day. And now with the radio reset that is Sensational Women's Wrestling, she will have an opportunity here to make herself a star. And a win tonight over Io Sky will definitely help her on that path to doing so. It's not going to be easy, especially because she has a disadvantage with the numbers game not being in her favor. Because again, she has to contend with not only Io Sky in the ring, but outside of it, you have to worry about Dakota and Bayley getting involved as well. Because that's going to be part of the problem. The numbers game is always a distraction, especially with those two involved. So we'll see what happens tonight as Io Sky takes on Xia Li. Match 4. Here we go. Xia Li quickly taking Io down. And again, I mentioned that this is a preparation match for Io for next week when she faces Candice LeRae. The first 3 members of our Women's Intercontinental Championship matches are again, Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss was the name of that I blanked on earlier. It was, and now as we saw just a minute ago, Zelina Vega getting herself in that match, and next week it'll be Candice LeRae and Io Sky with that opportunity. And here comes Damage Control. Here comes Bayley and Dakota. Trying to maybe cause a distraction, but they are backing off and letting Io handle it. Xia Li is really giving it to Io early on in this one. And now look at Io sending Xia into a chair over there here by our announce table. As referees count is at 6. Got to get back in the ring here, ladies, at some point, I'd imagine. As that counts at 7. A count-out win in the cards, maybe. Our first one counts at 8. As Io gets back in the ring, Lisa Sun on the outside slides back in at 8. And Io got caught sleeping there. Didn't realize Lee was in the ring and paid for it, but Io able to turn around into a reverse DDT and goes back up there and gets caught once again. Didn't take her down for long. Now keep your eyes on the prize here, Io Sky. Keep your eyes on the prize here, and there's the cover. Quick one on a 1 count as Lee kicks out. Again, Dakota and Io, former women's tag team champions in their own right. Bayley, a multiple-time Raw and SmackDown women's champion. I'm sure she would love to hold one of those titles, but for now, her and Dakota will be focusing on the tag team division, while Io goes after the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Don't know if this will be a permanent thing for her, or if this will be something that is just a one-off for the moment until she decides, until she either wins the match at Backlash or loses it, and then she'll back tag with Dakota. Don't know what's going to happen there just yet, but I'm sure they'll cross that bridge when they get to it. And there's those big kicks from Io Sky. My goodness. A lot of women on this roster love to use their kicks. We saw Nikita Lyons last week put it on display. We know Asuka's won. We haven't seen Asuka since WrestleMania. Surprised I haven't seen her yet, but we've seen Charlotte Flair, who was Rhea's opponent at WrestleMania. We haven't seen Bianca's opponent. Haven't seen Asuka yet. At some point, I imagine we'll see her, but I went on a tangent to talk about kicks because we know that Lee is also a prolific striker as well. Io is. Dakota, another member of that striker category. Really good striker in her own right. And now look at this. Look at this top rope. Top rope Spanish fly from Io Sky. My goodness. This is awesome chance indeed. And now Io back to the top rope. Moonsault connects. Io Sky cover on Xylee. 1, 2, 3. Io Sky gets the win. No prettier moonsault than that one from the genius of the Sky. Io Sky getting the win here tonight. Looking really good in her win and in preparation for her match next episode against Candice LeRae. Always good to come out with the win on top. Speaking of Charlotte Flair, here she is. Well, you heard it there from the Queen, everyone. She says the line starts behind her. She's apparently going to be first in line. I don't know if she's aware, but we have a GM on the show. And she's going to just call us shots around here, all right? So I'm imagining that at some point, we'll see if that's the case or if there's going to be some sort of match to determine number one contender. I'd imagine that that's the route that will go, but we'll see what that's for Stacey Keibler to decide. Right now it's time, though, to see who's going to respond to Bianca Belair. Remember, earlier in the episode, Bianca issued an open challenge to anyone on the roster who wants to answer it. Well, we'll see who's going to do that. Maybe it'll be Asuka. I spoke about her earlier, just minutes ago. Maybe it'll be Asuka responding to the open challenge. I haven't seen her yet. There's a bunch of names I could think of who could possibly answer the open challenge. We'll see what's going to be, though, here very shortly. Who's it going to be? Oh, man. It's WWE Hall of Famer and the person who attacked Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus and Lita a few weeks ago, Trish Stratus. You know what? Perfect person, I would think, to answer an open challenge like this. You know, we haven't seen Trish compete since WrestleMania, when her, Becky, and Lita beat Damage Control in that triple threat in that six-man tag team match. So here we go. We have a main event here set, folks. Bianca Belair and Trish Stratus set for action in our main event of the evening. Let's get it going. Bianca coming right after Trish. Look at this. Bianca has no time, but Trish tried to get some offense in. Bianca, though, quick to counter and stay on the offensive. Bianca Belair will be facing Rhea Ripley at Backlash. We'll be unifying the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. It will become the WWE Women's Championship. We'll see who's going to win that belt. And if you didn't know, the SmackDown Women's title actually has the history of the old WWE Women's Championship belt. So, as I mentioned last episode, that title history will carry over from that belt to this one, to this new WWE Women's Championship. So we'll see a lot more names added to that lineage. And it's a cover from Bianca. 1, no, kick out. Trish kicked out at 1. And, you know, speaking of champions, Trish Stratus a former multi-time, matter of fact, WWE Women's Champion in her own right. So we have a potential at some point, maybe, a potential championship preview. We see those all the time in other sports. Where you see teams meet in the regular season and we say, oh, this could be NBA Finals preview, a World Series preview. We could be looking at one of those here between Bianca Belair and Trish Stratus. And there is, love that offense there from Bianca Belair. We know she prides herself on being the EST to her. That's the strongest, fastest, best of WWE. Made a name for herself down in NXT and has come up here to the next level and has really come on, burst onto the scene quick. Her and Rhea Ripley for that matter as well. Both of those ladies burst onto the scene very quickly. As Bianca Belair really taking it to Trish Stratus. And you know, we heard Becky's comments last episode about Trish. And you know what? It's a good thing you're not here tonight. You did that last episode. Yeah, because if you were, you know, I'd be coming to find you. So maybe we'll see Becky get involved in this one at some point. They did have a match and they did win. So her and Lita. So we might not see Becky and or Lita tonight anymore. But again, you never know. Anything can happen. And wow, what a backbreaker there from Bianca. Cover 2, no. Trish able to get the shoulder up at 2 and stay in this match. And now Trish just trying to get away for a second. Get herself some breathing room. Bianca allowing her to have it, and a big mistake there. But Bianca, whether in the storm, Trish countering. There's a takedown, and they're trying to turn into a Boston Crab, perhaps. Turns her over, gets her into the Boston Crab. Bianca, nowhere to go, but wait a second. Bianca fighting out of it. Rolling it into a pin. Oh, look at this. Look at this. 1. Oh. Wow. What offense there from Belair to turn that dangerous situation into one where you almost steal a win. And Bianca almost got the win there as well. Another 2 count though. Stratus stays in this, but for how long is the question? You know, since she attacked Lita and Becky 2 episodes ago. Wait a minute, 450? No. Trish denies the 450, rolling out of harm's way at the very last moment. And now Bianca, though, Trish got a little bit too full of herself. Took a few moments to give the fans something, but they don't want to hear any of it. Instead, Bianca now, torture rack-like hold here onto Trish Stratus, and Trish is in a very precarious position here. She could tap him here, but she's not going to, as she squirts her way out of it. Escaping over the back of Bianca. And now Belair off the ropes and couldn't quite connect with all of it there. Into the corner this time. Spear in the corner, shoulder tackle. Into the corner. Oh! Kick to the lower back by Trish. And here we go. Offense here from the WWE Hall of Famer. But Bianca, once again, not giving Trish any sort of momentum here. Every time she gets something, Bianca has an answer. And that's just what the EST does. Answering back for everything. 1, 2, no. Trish somehow still in this one. Bianca, like, what do I have to do to put her away? You know what you have to do, Bianca. You know you're going to hit the KOD, right? That's what you got to do to put Trish Stratus, to put a WWE Hall of Famer away here in this open challenge. Trish, though, she's looked really good here. This is also her first match of Sensational Women's Wrestling here. The only altercations she's had, again, have been with her former teammates, former partners, in Lita and Becky Lynch. her first match here is going pretty well. Answering the open challenge of Bianca Belair. Cover here by Stratus. 1. Nope. Not doing. Not enough yet. Not enough. The Hall of Famer here to put away the youngster Bianca Belair. And in the corner, and Stratisfaction! Stratisfaction! Putting Bianca Belair away, maybe. 1, 2, no! Bianca Belair kicking out of the Stratisfaction. Not done yet, she says. We know for sure Bianca has the heart of a champion. The current Raw Women's Champion. There's another facebuster from Belair. 2, no. Again, Trish Stratus kicks out and stays alive. And now Bianca signaling for the end here. Has her up in the KOD. There it is. KOD. Put it to bed, everyone. Maybe 1, 2, 3. There it is. Bianca Belair gets the win here in the main event of Sensational Women's Wrestling. Thank you all for joining us here tonight. Wait a minute. That's Rhea Ripley kendo stick from Rhea. Shot to the back. Well, that's certainly one way to end the show. Thank you all very much for joining. We'll see you all next time